As the sun drops below the horizon, the banks of the Ganges ignite. Thousands of chanting voices harmonize with the blast of conch shells, while massive, multi-tiered brass lamps pierce the dark. This daily ritual represents a fraction of the city's activity. Every 12 years, this exact shoreline hosts the Kumbh Mela, drawing tens of millions of people in a single month. It is the largest single gathering of humanity on the planet. These crowds arrive here because of a highly specific geographic reality. The name Haridwar translates as the gateway to God, marking the precise coordinate where the Ganges River exits the steep Himalayan gorges and enters the flat plains of India. For thousands of years, this collision of mountain rock and flat earth has acted as a mandatory physical checkpoint. Travel into the divine heights of the Himalayas begins at this specific bottleneck. Haridwar serves as the base camp for the Chardham, a punishing high-altitude pilgrimage route. From this central node, seekers branch upward into the cold. These routes end at isolated sanctuaries like Kedarnath and Badrinath. These are harsh, frozen environments where survival requires complete submission to the elements. Down at the gateway, the atmosphere is entirely different. Modern Haridwar is a labyrinth of blaring horns, crowded tourist hotels, and aggressive street vendors. Yet, ascetics and ancient texts insist the city operates on a different frequency. They claim the air in this specific valley vibrates with a rhythm that bends the seeker's perception of time. Understanding how this crowded, commercialized city bridges the spiritual realm requires decoding the layers of mythology buried beneath the pavement. The center of this energy is a riverbank called Har Ki Pauri. According to scripture, Lord Vishnu stepped onto this location, leaving his physical footprint etched permanently into the bedrock. The city's timeline is dictated by the cosmic churning of the ocean. When celestial beings fled with the nectar of immortality, one drop spilled onto Haridwar, establishing a 12-year cycle of cosmic alignment that still governs the Kumbh Mela today. These cosmic myths overlap with recorded human history. Centuries ago, King Barthari of Ujjain performed deep penance in a cave here, prompting his brother to construct the first physical stone steps leading down to the water. Modern archaeologists suspect the current architecture conceal an older reality. Theories suggest an ancient, subterranean temple rests entirely submerged beneath the rushing currents of the Ghat. At Har Ki Pauri, cosmic myths, royal engineering, and unverified ruins occupy the same physical space. While the river provides the core energy, the surrounding peaks serve as the city's armor. The hills flanking Haridwar host Siddhapeeths, geographic seats of power acting as guardians. On the western ridge sits Mansa Devi. Born directly from the focused mind of sage Kashyap, she is revered for fulfilling the desires of pilgrims the moment they enter the valley. Across the river, on the eastern peak, sits her counterbalance, Chandi Devi. Established by Adi Shankaracharya, this temple marks the location where the goddess defeated two invading demon generals. These two temples lock the city in a high-altitude perimeter, enclosing the valley in a field of protective, divine feminine energy. That fierce energy echoes south at the Daksha Mahadev temple. This site is anchored by a tragedy. The goddess Sati threw herself into a sacrificial fire after her husband, Lord Shiva, was publicly insulted. The fallout was catastrophic. A grieving Shiva summoned a warrior to dismantle the ritual and decapitate the king responsible for the insult. A few miles north, the Saptarishi ashram provides the absolute inverse. Here, the Ganges fractured her own rushing current into 7 distinct quiet streams to avoid breaking the concentration of 7 meditating sages. Haridwar is built on these extremes, where world-ending passion exists alongside profound, serene detachment. Travelers entering the sacred city of Haridwar are engaged in a deliberate psychological crossing. Swami Vivekananda viewed the Ganges as a physical reflection of ancient Vedic philosophy, a moving current of human civilization. Submerging the physical body into the freezing, icy river is a practice deliberately designed to induce a specific altered state. The shock to the nervous system, combined with millennia of collective belief, forces the mind to shed its ego and worldly anxieties. The transit through this gateway concludes when the seeker achieves a specific internal shift. Today, Haridwar is undeniably modern. Ancient trails share space with digital ticketing counters, sprawling hotels, and massive wellness hubs like Patanjali Yogpeeth. Despite all these rapid modern changes, the core mechanism of the city operates exactly as it did millennia ago. It functions as a timeless mirror, using the scale of the river and the density of human devotion to force the visitor to pause and look inward. Haridwar functions as a catalyst for informal change, proving that the deepest transformation occurs within the seeker.